I've seen these for a little while now.
Illustrations by me.
So a little hiccup in my schedule, I know. I've been telling many of you I'm going to do the Da Vinci watercolor this month. I am not going to be able to do that, but do next month. It just takes a little bit longer. I got sick and I couldn't talk that long, and it's going to be like a 2-day video. There's every color in the line that I'm reviewing. So it's going to be a long video. It's going to take a while for me to make, but I will make it soon. It won't be this video or next video, but maybe the one after that. So I will keep you informed on when that's coming. But in the meantime, I do have something very special for you. It's special for me is what I have, and that is the Gansai Tambi Gem Colors. Have you seen this set? This is everybody's favorite watercolor, I know. You know how I know that? Because people tell me all the time it's not watercolor. However, on the back it says metallic toned Gansai watercolors. Don't yell at me. That's what they call it, not me. I didn't make that term up. They say they're watercolor. I'm going to give them that credit. This video is brought to you by Bob and Brad. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now, we're talking about these Gansai Tambi watercolor, and I wanted to say they look shiny. There is definitely some mica in here. As a matter of fact, I'm looking on the website, and I see the colors here, the gem red, gem pink, yellow gold, gem green, gem blue, and gem violet. For some reason, the gem yellow didn't work out for them. It's just yellow gold. But I'm looking at them and I'm seeing no pigment information. It just says mica. That's the only thing it says in there. So there's obviously pigment in here. These are pigmented colors. And they gave you the full 6 set. Everybody should be happy about that. Don't yell at me. So this is great. I think they're going to be beautiful according to the propaganda swatches on the website. I don't know. They look beautiful. Just looking at them, they do. I'm going to swatch them out. We're going to talk about them a little bit, and then I'm going to do a painting with them. I just want to make sure that here's the thing. When you have paints with mica on them, I have used some where you put the paint down, it dries, and then you rub your finger across it, and then you get the sparkle glitter crap all over your hand. I do not like that. I'm not a fan of that. So hopefully these will not do that. Many don't, but some do, and I do not like that. It drives me insane. I do not like that stuff. It doesn't even come to my house. Matter of fact, someone recently just sent a card to my house, and we just celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary. So someone sent me a card, and there was glitter on it. And not only did I took it out, and I opened it and read it, and then I immediately threw it in the garbage because it's not going to stay in the house. It had glitter on it. Then I took the bag and took it outside and threw it in the garbage pail outside. It's not going to stay in here. I won't let it happen. It is not Christmas time. That's the only free pass. My wife gets a free pass for Christmas time. She puts up a couple of things that have a little bit of glitter in them. It is a nightmare for me. They stay far away from they can't be anywhere where someone's going to touch them or the stuff is going to get all over the floor or anywhere else. It drives me insane. I absolutely hate glitter. I don't know why someone decided to make the smallest possible flecks of metal and just shave them all over the place and say, here, play with this. I'm telling you, I was watching some guy on YouTube had a thing with his kid, and they picked up a big fistful of glitter and jammed it into something. And I'm watching him pick it up, and it's spilling everywhere, all over the carpet. It's on carpet. He's all over the carpet. He's sticking it in. I'm like, oh no, what are you doing with that child? Leave that child alone. That's borderline things I can't say or I will get banned on YouTube. So anyway, before we get into the swatching and the painting, let's talk about Bob and Brad. So look, you see the shape of my back? Do you see that? It's a curve. Same thing with my father, my grandfather, and his father, and all those fathers. They all, mother fathers, have those. So that's how it is. I have this nerve bundle behind my spine, and I'm always in a lot of pain. I think I've mentioned this before on the channel, but you can't get to it. It's behind the spine. They can't do anything with it. And sometimes when the muscles get tight, it pushes on that nerve bundle, and I am in a tremendous amount of pain. So when Bob and Brad said, hey, we have a back massager we'd like to send you to show you, not to show you, for you to show your audience. I said, yeah, absolutely, let's do that. So they sent me, and it comes in this little box here. It's a nice little, it's very small and portable. So it's not like the ones that are massive that you have to sit on. It has like the seat, you sit on it, and then it's not like that. You can put this anywhere you want. And that's something that, now this is not in the box, or I mean in the bag, not in the bag or anything else, because I had, there's a little, they sent you a little, there's a little thing there that tells you how to use it. I'm not going to read that because it's a massager. This is, I'll show you this in a second. It's like the massager thong or something. We'll go through that. But you do plug this one in. Look how little it is. Do you see how little that is? So you can put, and the things are on this side, and it's curved this way. So it would curve just from my back. That's what it's going to do. I am looking at the monitor to make sure you can still see it. Anyway, you saw that. I know you did. So I'm going to plug it in here and just show you quickly. But it has several different modes. You plug it in. Where's the thing? Here it is. You remember Bob and Brad, right? They're the ones that, they get people out of pain. That's why I like them. And all of you always tell me that you're in pain. All of you just always tell me, I can't do this because my hand hurts. They sent me that massage thing on the hand, which I still use. It's right over there. It inflates the little pillows all the way up and down your hand, up and down your wrist. A little bit of heat and stuff. We talked about that before. This is very interesting. So it has the little button on the back here. You push it. When you push it, you hold it, and then it starts. And you see it has a color on it. That's the orange one. That means there's heat in it. And you can see the thing lights up a little bit red. You see that? You can see it. So then if you hit it again, a quick press, it goes in the opposite direction. That's the only difference. If you do it again, it removes the heat in the first direction, and then it goes again in the other direction with the blue light. And there's no orange on here when it's cool. So, but it does have heat, and you can do things like stick it on your back, and you can drop it, or you can lean back on it. So I like to do this, and this, just like that. And it just gets, that's nice, right on the top of my back into my neck. That's wonderful. If I let it slide down a little bit and then lean on it, now it's hitting the spot in my back. Do you see that? And I don't have to do anything. Now, some people will want to use the little thong. Let me show you how that works. You know what a thong is. You don't have to tell you anything about that. Let me shut this off here so I can show you. Okay, so this is for people that need a little less pressure. I like a lot of pressure. I don't usually put this on. But if you put this on there, you see how it fits. It's just like a thong. Anyway, right, it's the same thing. So, but it's a Velcro. So it sticks with Velcro, and then it's a little bit more padded. So if you want to put this on your neck without having it hit too hard, or you want to put it, maybe you're sensitive on your back or something, you can put this on. It's a little bit more of a cushion. It's just a little padded thing here. And that's a wonderful thing. I am not going to use that, however, because I want as much pressure on my back as possible. So that's how I'm going to use it. There will be links below. If you think this is going to help you, it's nice. It's wonderful. Matter of fact, I have an outlet in my car, and that's where it's going to go. It's going to go in my car. So in the morning, and then on lunch, and then when I come home, I will be getting a back massage while I go to and from work every day. Now, if you don't have the little outlet thing, they make adapters for the cigarette lighters and stuff for those things, but I have the actual plug in the car, so I just plug it into the car. Everything works fine. There is a 15-minute shut-off, by the way, so if you fall asleep, don't worry about it. It will shut off. It's not going to knead you into a puddle or something like that. 15 minutes, it's going to cut you off. Okay, we'll get into the swatch now. Should I put the numbers on here? Do you want to see the numbers? Do you care about the numbers? Some people don't care about the numbers. So this one is 830. This one is 831, 903, 850, 860, 861. That way when you look on their color chart, you can see which one's which. Now the thing that I like about these small sets, first of all, once again, I'm giving Kuretake credit. They've come up with a unique set. This is not a split primary set. It's something very unique. These look like they're both cool. This is a different kind of yellow. It's a gold yellow, I guess you can say that. This is more of a bluish green, which looks beautiful, absolutely wonderful. This is a very cool blue. It looks like, I don't know, it could be basic blue. I don't know, maybe a middle blue. We'll see. And then this is, of course, a purple. It's a very bright, vibrant purple. So this is a tiny set that you can carry and probably use and get all your mixes out of. It's absolutely wonderful. No problem with it. I love that they make unique sets that are not the same thing that everybody else is doing. And all the colors are represented. So you have your reds, yellows, blues, and then you have some secondaries also represented. And I love that about these. So let's start with the gem red. The gem red, it looks beautiful. I have no idea if it is, but it looks beautiful. Now these may take a second to re-wet. I don't know. It looks like I had to scrub a little bit on that. Not too bad. It's actually re-wetting very easily. I just had to go over the top for a second. It's almost like a film on top, but not really. I don't know how to explain that. I'll see how they are once I've wet them this time, if when I do go to paint with them, if they also need to be re-wet. So this red here, that is not a cool red, not even a little bit. That was a terrible analysis from this color here that I said, oh, it might be a cool red. It was completely wrong. Don't ever listen to me. I told you that to begin with. If you listen to me, you only have yourself to blame. I am not to be trusted. So this information is just what I initially thought, and I was extremely wrong. I was just completely wrong. All right, let's see. I'm going to see what happens if you drop it into some water. I don't know. I don't think these separate or anything like that. There's no separating pigments in here that I'm aware of. So oh, they move through the water well. Did you see that? That's great. That's wonderful. I love to see that. So as soon as I touched the water, that thing exploded all over the place. That's great. So this is almost like a reddish brown. This gem red is like a reddish brown, but it does glisten beautifully. I want to see when it dries. If I touch it, we'll see what happens. Okay, next up we have the gem pink. And yeah, it takes a second to break through that little bit of protective layer, I guess. I don't know. Just to get down to it. But it's still good. We're still having fun here. We're still getting it's wetting pretty easily. Okay, so we have the gem pink, and it's a very, very, very light tinting strength. Very hard, I guess, to get a strong tinting strength with this kind of a pink, but it's okay. It's fine. You're going to use this just the way it is, and you have to use things the way that they need to be used, not the way you want to use them. Always keep that in mind. That's a fact. So let's put a little bit of water down. We'll see what happens here. I'm expecting it. Oh, I just moved everything. I'm expecting it to pop just like the other did, and it kind of did. It's just so weak that you can't see it that much. So that may be a letdown for some people, but I'll tell you what, when I went over it again and I put a little bit more pigment on it, you're getting enough color on the page. Let's put it that way. It's not so light that you feel like you're not getting color on the page. Now this yellow gold, I am not a fan of gold. I don't like the color gold. It's not one of my favorite things. Let's see how this works. So again, yeah, it's going to take a second just to get down through it. And not like some other mica paints where you see it kind of, well, I guess it's kind of flowing around in there. But sometimes they activate when you touch them and they just start sparkling all over. Yeah, it's starting to do it now. So, okay. So never mind. Just to forget I said anything at all. Here's some yellow gold here, and that's a yellow gold. Here's the thing that I actually like about this one, and that is that normally I do not like yellow gold. I don't like gold in general. But down here it got a little bit lighter where I could use it as a standard yellow. This is a little bit of a dirty yellow. This is almost like a nickel azo yellow up here. That little bit of dirtiness in it. But that's just because it's gold. That's what it is. But as I got down here, it got lighter yellow, and I could use that. That's something that I would use. I don't like normally a normal yellow, but it looks like an earthy yellow. It doesn't look like a lemon yellow. That I usually don't like. So I could use it. We're gonna test it out. Now we're gonna get into the gem green. Gem green, that looks like a beautiful color. That looks like a color that I would have picked to put on any palette that I've used ever. So let's see how that works. And I want to see how much these shift as they dry too, because it looks like that gem red shifted a little bit. But it could be just because it dried and it's kind of more reflective now. So there's a lot more happening here. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful color. Oh, I love that color. I love that color green. That's beautiful. Again, not very strong tinting strength, but up here in the mass tone, it's pretty. All the way down through here, it's pretty. I would use this green. This is a good... Oh, I wish I had a regular color green like this that didn't have the mica in it. I would use it. Oh, I didn't do the thing. That's why I had more room. I didn't do the thing. You got to remind me when I don't do the thing. I can't... sometimes I forget. So let me do the thing. That didn't do anything. That one stayed put. That I was waiting for something to happen, like it was going to happen, but it happens as soon as you touch the paper. So if it doesn't happen, it's not going to happen. All right, let's see. I'll do this one here. Put down some water, and then we're going to put this in here. And that moved. It moved a little bit as soon as it touched the water. It didn't go crazy. Not like that first one. That one popped all over the place. But that's okay. Don't worry about that. It did move a little bit through the water, just not very much. Okay, the gem blue. Now this could be I don't know. I'm not really sure what this looks like. It looks like it could go either way. When I put this on the page, it could go to a warmer blue, or it could go to a cooler blue, or it could just be a true blue. Let's see what we end up with when we put on the page. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, did I not have enough water in the thing? Maybe I didn't have enough water on there. Hold on, I'm going to try it again. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, same thing. Not very strong tinting strength, but absolutely beautiful color. I love that color. You know what it reminds me of? A Mayan Blue Genuine. A Mayan Blue Genuine is one of my favorite blues. That's the Daniel Smith version. I know some people don't like Daniel Smith, but that's my favorite, one of my favorite blues. Not my favorite. I don't really have a favorite anything. I have like one of my favorite things depending on the day of the week. And that moved a little bit. That's fine. But I like things in the same category. I don't necessarily have a favorite one thing. Some people do that. I do not. Okay, now we have this gem violet. So let's see. This is a very pretty color. I could see this being a nice color. Now look how bright that is, that blue. And look how it came off on the page. So I'm saying I love that color. I wasn't sure about this color. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. It still looks pretty, but wasn't sure how it was going to come out. And I'm still not sure about this one. So this purple here, you know, it's liquefying. I'm just making sure I get enough liquid in there. Okay. This one here, right here, okay, look at that. That's a pretty color. It's a little bit paler than it looks here. It looks bright and vibrant on here. A little bit paler when you put it on the page. Now, I'm not going to complain about that because that's how I'd use it. I'm going to use them how they're going to use. That's it. That's just how it is. I'm a fan of Kuretake. Some people are not, but I don't know how you're not. They just do so many wonderful things with their paints. Some people really don't like them. I like, oh, that one moved quite a bit too. That one shot through there a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of red in there or something instead of a pigment purple or something, and that's what that is. And maybe it's not maybe it's like a dye base. I don't know what they are. They say pigment based right on the box. They do. They say water based pigment right there on the box. So, and I know dyes really have pigment in them too. But they do separate when people talk about them because of the quality. They do separate between dye and pigment, but. Let's see how these dry. I want to give this a second, see how it dries, and I'm going to rub my finger over them. And if I get mica off on them, if I get glitter off on these things, I'm not going to be a fan of them. I'm not going to throw them away, but someone else will get them, not me. While I'm waiting for that, let's mix a couple and see what we can do here. I have some space down here. There's a lot of space on this page. There's only 6 colors. This is a full swatching page. So let me see here. What can we do here? Let's take this blue with the gem pink. Let's do that. Let me get a pan to mix them in. Can I get this all? I don't think I can get it all on the page. If I can get some of it, I can get the majority of it on the page there so you can all see it. Okay, so I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take a little bit of water here. I'm going to take this color here, this gem pink. We're going to take that and put that in here. I do have a little bit of water in there just because I wanted to just get the pen flowing. So there we go. We have some pigment in here. Wonderful. And I'm gonna get some of the blue pigment and see if we can make a nice purple that's different than this one. Let's see if we can do that. That's all I'm looking for, is something a little different. That's all. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna take this blue now. Let's go ahead and get that. Okay, just getting some liquid on it and reliquifying it. It does, once it gets liquid, it builds up like a layer of liquid on the top. So let's see what we can do here. And that looks like it's making a nice purple. Let's see. It's going to be a little bit muted down. We are mixing something with not a lot of tinting strength in either one of them. So it'll be a little bit muted, but let's see here. Oh, very nice. I can deal with that. That's a nice color. That's a darker color. I like that. Let's see what that looks like when it dries and see how that comes out. What else do you want to mix? Do you want to see if we can get orange? You want to see if we can do this gem red and the yellow gold? That sounds like a good match to me. Let's see if we can do that, because that's almost like a reddish brown, almost like a rust color. I love that color. That's a nice color. I thought it was going to be different when I first looked at it, but I really do like that color. And I was able to get a lot of pigment off on that page there. Okay, that's not on the page. You know what I mean. Okay, now I want to take this yellow here. Oh, look at that. That was a terrible... I didn't wash out the brush. I had to refill it, and I didn't wash it out. That's not a good thing. So now I got that color all in there anyway. So let's get some of this mixed up real good. We're going to move it over. Hopefully I can mix that up and get that out of there. Yellows always look like a mess on everybody's palette because they just take every color that you mix them with and they did. I don't know what this is, what's happening here. It looks like the gold is much, much darker of a tinting strength. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit more of that rust color back into it because it didn't really mix. The gold kind of took over and just turned it into gold. That has the most mica, by the way. There's no other color that reflects that much, that is that mica-y. Is mica-y a word? It is now. So let's see. Let's see if I take some of that. I'm going to put some of that back in here. There we go. I think that... Oh, it almost makes like a bronze. I should have figured that out. That's good thinking, Pete. Anyway, I should have figured out that's going to be like a bronzy kind of color, and that's exactly what that is. It's a bronze. You take the rust, you take the gold. It's just how it is. But I guess technically bronze is a type of orange. So I was successful almost making like a burnt sienna. It's almost like a reddish brown color here, like a burnt sienna color mixing these two together. So that's nice. And it's bright. It's a bright color. I didn't think it was going to be that bright, but I got a lot of pigment off on that one. So I don't know if I should even try mixing the gold with the blue to get a different kind of green. Oh, I'm dreading it. I'm going to try though. Okay, we're back to here now. Okay, I just had to clean that out quick. You know, some people have asked me, do I not ever use this brush when now I go into my regular watercolor paints? Water brushes will rinse out very easily. They clean themselves very well because you're basically pushing the water out from the brush. So anytime I mix these colors together on here, am I worried about getting mica in my regular paints? No. And I've never had that issue. I've never had that happen to me. I don't think it ever will because I don't want it to happen. So I make sure that I take care of that part. But just make sure you rinse it out thoroughly and you'll be okay. All right, let's take some of this gold. I'm going to put the gold down first because it is a stronger tinting strength. So I'm going to put that down first and then put the blue into that. So if you ever have a paint that you're trying to mix, that's what you want to do. You want to take the one that has the stronger tinting strength and put that down first, then put the weaker one into it so you can keep adding it and getting the point that you want to with it. Because if you put down a ton of that blue, and just like you saw with this color here, I put down a ton of the red first, and then when I put that into it, it just took over. So sometimes you have to add back in from the lower tinting strength, add that back in at the end. I'm just going to start with it. Some people, you don't have to start with it. You could put down the yellow first, but it's just a rule of thumb that it works a little bit better if you do it this way. You get as much pigment as you can, and then you put it into here. And let's see what kind of color this comes up with. It looks like it's I don't even know if that's a green or if it's just some kind of just an awkward kind of blue. Oh, then maybe a gray. Maybe that's like a green gray. That's what it is. It's a green gray. I think that's what we made here. That is what we made here. It's a green gray. And that's fine. That's a very pretty color. I would like to use. Usually I don't like green grays. I am not a person who likes greenish grays. But that kind of just turned it looking less green now a little bit. It's looking more blue. Compared to this, it's more green. Compared to this, it's very blue. So it's a greenish gray, or at least a muted gray that leans a little bit to the green side. I'm not going to do too many more. I just wanted to, or any more. I'm just going to look at. I just wanted to see how these do mixing, and they do well. You can mix them very easily. Matter of fact, these colors here look stronger than these colors here. So that's all I'm saying. It's fine. It could be because maybe there was a coating on that paint, and so scrubbing it off the first time I got this far, but when I did it again I was able to get a little bit deeper into the color. That's a very good possibility. I have no idea. We'll find out when we do the painting how these come off now from here. And I will mix some of them on the page as well, so you'll see how that works. Okay, so I didn't mention this when I was swatching them out, but some of them are extremely opaque, especially that gold. That one is extremely opaque. That yellow gold, it's very opaque. Now, the rest of them are like semi-opaque unless you get a lot, you soak them. So what you'll see me do is, I wanted to see if I could get more off of there if you wet them, because they were taking a while to re-wet and then they were drying solid again real quick. So I did drop some water on it. You'll see me do that. You got, sometimes after it sat for a while, you would get so much paint off. It was very thick and that would be kind of opaque. I would water them down a little bit. I would dilute it and make sure that it was not on most of them, but some of them you can't help it. Then I went and I did, you'll see me, before I started the ink portion of this, I did the painting part, and then I rubbed my finger over all the different parts of the paint. And the gold, I thought a fleck came off on my finger, but I did it again and nothing came off. I did it all over the other colors, nothing came off on my finger. So there wasn't any mica that came off of it. I thought maybe it did, but I thought I saw it for a second as I turned my hand over. Maybe it was a little bit wet or something and I just saw that glisten. I don't know. It's not on my desk, and that's the only thing. I had my hand over the desk, so I flipped it over, and then I thought I saw it for a second, but then I didn't. I don't know. It's possible that I'm doing this right now again on the gold, and nothing's coming off on my finger. So I think it's okay. Nothing is coming off on any other part of the whole page. Nothing comes off on your hand, which is nice. I have had them come off before, and most of them don't, but I have. Those silver paints. Those are them. It was right about after Christmas time, so it's probably sometime early January. I used some silver paints and I did that, and every time you touch them, the stuff came off on your hands. Those are no longer in this house. They went right into the trash can. I think I actually, for the first time ever, I think, I preferred mixing the colors in a separate container, like a separate palette, and then putting them on the page. Because I tried to mix all of them. There's only one or two colors that I really enjoyed mixing on the page. Most of them I did not. They do not mix well on the page. Not like any of the other Kuretake that I've ever used, which I always mix on the page, always. When I use the Nouveau set and the Nuance set, both of those sets I mix on the page, and they blend beautifully. I love the way they blend. These didn't do that. Let me correct myself. It's not that they didn't do it. It's that they didn't do it as nicely as they did when I was doing the swatching. Mixing them in the separate palette, putting them on the page, they came out very nice. The piece was fine. I'm not a huge fan of how it came out. And let me tell you something. I can say I don't like something I created. I know people are, everybody gets so offended about anything. If you like something that I made, but I say, you know, I didn't really like it, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying it's not my taste. That's what I'm saying. Now, I did like this piece. It just wasn't the best. It was just okay. It was a mediocre piece at best. But if I'm allowed to create something and not like it, it's okay. I'm not putting everybody else down if I say I don't like something just because someone might have liked it as well. That's not how this works. Everybody likes different things. It's like if I can look at a piece of your work and say, I don't like that piece. I'm not saying I don't like you. I'm not saying I don't like your artwork. I'm saying I don't like the piece. That can happen. It's allowed to happen. You can tell me all the time, I don't like that piece. That's okay. When you tie your own ego into every little thing you do or something someone else does, you are in for a world of hurt. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. You have to loosen up a little bit. You have to remove your ego a little bit. That's very important. Don't have an ego about this stuff. It's just something, it's an idea I had. If I don't like the idea I had, I'm allowed to say that. And if someone else did like the idea, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to keep talking about that. So I did use the ArtX cold press sketchbook, which is why I did the double spread. I wanted to show you that it's easy to go across that page because there's just a little bit of string binding there. It's a flat page open. So I went across the whole thing. It's the cold press. It worked out well. I enjoyed it. I probably would have done it differently looking back, but it's fine. And the other thing that I will never tear that out. I will never tear that piece out because that piece would now have two halves, right? There's a little perforation in there where you can tear out those sheets. And so I'll never tear them out because I made the artwork link across. If I tear it off, there'll be a gap where the artwork wouldn't link up. So I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that. But that's okay. I wasn't planning on tearing it out anyway. But I did enjoy using this book. I enjoyed the texture. These paints granulate wonderfully. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I know the mica's in there and that'll separate a little bit, but really I was looking for the glistening quality, not the separation, not the granulating quality. And so there's very little that's actually glowing, that's popping with the color. Once I mixed into it, unless I mixed like a gold into it or something, then that yellow gold, it didn't. That was the thing that really glistened the most. That's the thing that's shiny and all anything. But the rest of them aren't as shiny. I'm looking at them. I'm saying, I can see it. Yes, if you put it up into the light, they all shine a little bit. But only some of them really pop with that shininess. And that gold one is it. That green did pretty well with it. It glistened. It's kind of sparkly if you're just looking at it. But the green and then the gold, maybe some of the blue and if you look at closely, they all do it. But if you're just not paying attention, you just look at the page, it's that gold that really pops. It's unfortunate that I don't like that color because I'm not going to use that color most likely. I mean, I'll leave it with the set and I may use it at some point in time, but I enjoyed, so let me sum up here. I did enjoy this set. It was a fun set to work with. I just should have mixed off of the page instead of on the page. I would have enjoyed that better. And then, or only some of them. I know I say that, but I'm looking at it saying, yeah, but I did like when I mixed that one, and I did like when I mixed that one, I did like when I mixed that one. So you can't listen to me. I'm just, sometimes, and it depends on the time of day even with me, when I like something versus when I don't. So I even keep that in mind. If I say I don't like something I did, it's probably just that time of day. When I look at it tomorrow, I'll probably love it. It's just how it is with me. Things change. Sometimes and here's the other thing. Sometimes when you create something, you get emotionally attached to that thing. So every time you see that painting, you're like, oh yeah, it brings back that memory. I love that painting. But you may not. If you saw it on any other day, you probably wouldn't. But you get that attachment to it. And so it's a powerful thing. You get that attachment. It's right there. That's what it reminds me of. That's what I did. So that's what happens. And sometimes people ask me about that gel pen that I signed my name. At the very end, I did sign my name with a gel pen. It's the ArtX gel pens. I can't find them anywhere else being sold separately. They either get sold in like this big pack where there's only like 3 of them, but then there's 3 silvers and 3 golds, and you throw away 6 markers because those are hideous. But I do enjoy those ArtX, the white gel pens. They're my favorite gel pens. They really are. There's not much more to say about it. It's a fun little set. If you like metallic type paints, it's a fun set. It really is. I would recommend getting it. If it's not your thing, then I wouldn't recommend. You don't have to get it. It doesn't add a whole lot to your palette or anything else. It just adds a little bit of metallics to it. And those happen to be nice. Now, they also have other metallic paints. I don't think these are them. I don't think this is a part of that set, the gem colors. I could be wrong. So don't jump all over me here. You tell me. I know that they have a whole separate set of metallic paints. I think there's a bunch of like 24, so I don't know. But I think, don't quote me on anything. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking on the site now and I see they have a gold set. That's what it is. It's the gold set and everything's like bluish gold and blue gold and red gold. Like they have that kind of, that's the set I was looking at. It's not an actual thing. And then they have other ones that are, the pearl set is the other one. They have like the pearl scarlet and the pearl blue and all that stuff. So they have several different types of kind of glistening type paints, metallic-y, if you will, type paints. And so that's what I was thinking of. But they could be entirely different. I've not used those before. These are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. You like the metallic paints? They work well. They glisten. They shine. Some more than others. But if you hold it on the page right, they're fine. Personally, I think when I did that Meaden palette set of metallics, those did a lot more. Those were a lot more sparkly. And I could see it on the page a lot more when I was painting with them. And then when I was done painting with them, I could see them on the page very well. So these are like just off from that, just a little bit less. That could be a good thing for you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That might be a positive for you. You don't like all the shine and sparkle on the page. You want it dulled down a little bit, but you want to see it a little bit if you just tilt it a little bit. Then this will work better than those. All in all, I enjoyed this set. I think it is a fine set of watercolor. You can't go wrong with it. Just like these people popping up on the screen here. They're a fine group of people. You cannot go wrong with them. They're wonderful. So thumb up the video if you are going to maybe take a look at these paints. Just take a look at them. See if you think maybe that's a good thing. Look at the swatches that I did on that, but now your screen's going to be different than the actual color. But just get a mental idea of that. Look how bright they are and when you look at them on the palette itself, and how dulled down they are when you actually put them on the page. Now some of them were a little bit more dull than others, but and then you soak them and sometimes they thicken up and they get a little bit brighter again. So just however you like to do it, just keep it in mind. Okay, I'm sure I screwed up a lot here. I tend to do that a lot lately, so let's see that. So all in all, I don't know what I think. I completely lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going with that. What was I going to say all in all? Oh, I was going to give the little summary. All right, here we go. Did you see the speck on my finger? I think there was a speck. I don't know if there was a speck. If there was a I'm going back to watch the tape now myself. If there was a speck, is that old? Did I call it a tape? Oh my goodness. For comparison, this is a Hershey Kiss wrapper, and it sparkles. So guess who reached out to me? Brad and Bob. No. It's Bob and Brad. Is that what it is? Bob and Brad. They're sponsoring the video. You can't get their name wrong. So I have it here, right here. I'm rubbing my hands on it. Is that? Oh no. I spit on my hand. I spit on my finger while I was talking. It's not glitter. Okay. Even on here, it's only like the gold and the green, right? Can you see the gold and the green? Does it sparkle a little bit more? It could. I'm not going to do that in the video. I'm telling you, it's not here. You want to see it for yourself? Here, look. There, look. There it is. Do you see any of those with pigments? I don't. The gem blue, the gem pig. No pigments on there. Not even when I did Google Translate. Those are not pigments. If you would like to join our community, go to illustrationsbypete.com. You can come in, you can put your own artwork on the site and promote it. You can find some inspiration in the free reference photos. You can just use them however you want in your artwork. You do not need to credit me. Or you can come into the forums and talk to some people and maybe give some advice and maybe find a little bit of information that helps you. So come check us out. All right, that's about it for me. I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.